Welcome to Building Violation LLC. Glad to see you in our office, and I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what to know when selling a house with violations. Now, those houses may seem a good price and may seem to be even sometimes easy to fix, but violations definitely cause delays at the closing, and definitely is a risk for the seller because you can lose your money in the escrow, in the buyer's escrow. Let me get into details as we unveil this topic a little bit further. As part of the topics we're going to explore here at Building Violation, and we'll see, just share our wisdom. We've been doing this since 2015. So one of the things that we definitely should consider is delay at closing. Now, what could cause a delay? The truth of the matter is, first, it's going to be hard to find a buyer for a building that has violations. The reason being is you have to get a mortgage, but mortgage companies don't want to risk, and they don't want to give money for a building that has violations. So that could definitely preclude you find a lot of buyers. But even if you find a cash buyer, delays could be coming from the attorney side. You have to have your attorney work out, negotiate what is known as an escrow account, a third-party account held by the attorneys that is going to hold the money for the buyer now to fix the violations after you sell the building. Now, when somebody's taking care of your problem, obviously you understand that you're going to run into people that may not do it, and you may eventually even lose the money. So supposedly the money's in the escrow waiting to get violation repaired, and whatever left over goes back to you, but it may not happen. So working out all of these technicalities will take time between the attorneys of the buyer and the seller. Definitely delays the closing. And additionally, violations definitely have a leverage for the buyer to argue on the price. They could definitely demand a discount because they're going to have to go through the hassle of resolving these violations. Now, the hassle may not be so big. You may actually resolve these violations pretty quickly if you know what you're doing, if you hire building violation professionals. But it may seem as such a dramatic thing that the buyer may use it as leverage when negotiating a price with you. So dealing with additional hassles like hiring professionals is one of the topics that is a drawback with building with violations, because now you have to deal with different trades, plumbers, electricians, architects, expediters who are supposed to do all of your filing and negotiate with the plan examiners and get approvals in the city. All of these professions, they need to be managed. You have to pay them. They have to do their work, their legwork, to get your job approved, to resolve the violation. Because in order to resolve a violation, you have to do corrective work. You have to file paperwork to get it resolved. So those are dramatic hassles. Has to do with building with violations. They definitely have a drawback. So dealing with an escrow account is also one of those things. You have to negotiate with the bank. The bank may have certain requirements to release the money. So you may even have a situation where the violation is resolved, but the bank is not releasing the money because maybe there's no proof or the buyer didn't provide the proof. There's a lot of hassles related to building with the violations. Now, what should you do before the closing date if you have a building with violations? What can you do in order to really cushion the fall? What should you really do in order to become a winner? Because we want you to be the winner in the situation. What should you really do before the closing date when you have a building with violations? So the number one thing, you should definitely do a title search. You should definitely research what violations you have in this building, understand each intricate specificality about each violation, and be able to understand the costs that are going to be involved with resolving this violation. Now, that specific violation research could be done by professionals, but you also have some publicly available websites where you can go and do your search. You can go on the NYC Department of Building website, for example, and do a search through a building information system. Many municipalities offer these access to their database where you could look at these violations and resolve them. And eventually you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to lose the money? Are you going to put the money in the escrow for somebody else to take care of the violation? Or do you want to get it resolved by the closing date? And this is a very important point for you, because you have to understand the outcome. If you decide to get the violation resolved yourself, then you really are, could be quickly resolving it, and you get your closing date, you get your money, and you go on your way. If you're gonna put it on a buyer, you're gonna run into somebody maybe who's not gonna take care of it, and you may not get your money back. So you definitely, you're selling your house for 100,000. You want to get your whole amount of money, but you're not gonna get it because the money is in the escrow. Maybe 10% of it. Who knows? Whatever the attorney will negotiate between each other. Definitely, that money you want to have in your pocket, but you need to make that decision before you even find the buyer. If you want to put your house in the market and it has violations, you should do your research before you put it on the market and try to get it resolved. And this is what we do here at Building Violation LLC. You could definitely reach us. Call us at 866-545-4440. The number is on the screen. If not, in the description. This is what we do. We put together a team of building violation professionals who completely resolve your violation, manage everything from administrative to labor, whatever you need, we're going to take care of it. But it's best to do it before the closing date, before even you find a buyer. So the number one thing I would tell you to do before the closing date, if you have a building with violations, is correct the violations before you start looking for a buyer. It's the number one thing to do. It makes your life a lot easier. And they may not be as scary as they may seem. Well, thank you so much for visiting, and we're going to get back to taking care of the violations, but we'll have some more videos coming along the way. Good luck.